Yeah, the call is also getting recorded now. Now let's start our workshop. Let's start our first class with a question. Are you all using Excel at your office?
Yes.
Or you're using Excel?
In a daily life, we will use Excel.
Very good.
Yes.
So, what are you doing in Excel?
In Excel, we usually use for preparing sales report. We use formulas like sum formula, average, sum if, count if. We look up,
Okay.
and sometimes pivot table also.
Very good. So you are using pivot tables and different formulas.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Very good. How about others? Pranati, Tejaswini. Are you using Excel? If you are using, what are you doing in Excel?
Yes, we use Excel, but we generally do only the basic things like sum, changing the date format, and all. We don't do much in Excel.
Okay, fine. Very good. How about others?
I'm just learning now.
Okay, very good. How about you two in the classroom? Okay, you never used Excel. Okay, yeah. See, basically, whatever you do in Excel, that falls into three categories. Okay, one, saving the data or storing the data. What do I mean by stored data? What type of data can be stored into Excel? So, there are different types of data. In depth, I will tell you later practically. Theoretically, you have text data, you have numbers, you have date, you have time, you have formulas. Okay, these are text related data, number related data, statistical related, date related, time related, formula related. These are the data types. You have charts, tables, pivot tables, maps, slicers, macros, and objects, shapes. Okay, these are something which you have in Excel. All this can be stored in Excel. Whatever you store, that falls into category of storing. Second category, calculations. Okay, using different formulas. Okay, using mathematical formulas, statistical formulas, engineering formulas, financial formulas, and few other supporting formulas. You do a lot of calculations in Excel. So all your formulas will fall into a category of calculations. Okay, then the third category is analysis. So you have a set of data and you definitely want to make some analysis on that one, right? You want to find out what data it is, how it is useful for you, how it is useful for your process, what does it have. You definitely want to summarize the large data. You definitely want to analyze the data to take a decision. So to analyze your data, you use some formulas. Okay, you use tables, you use pivot tables, use slicers on it. Okay, using different techniques, you analyze the data. So whatever you do, it falls into three categories. One, storing the data. Second, calculation. Third one, summarizing and analyzing. So whatever you do in Excel, it falls into three categories. So some say that sending file, receiving file, that is related to storing the data. That means you have some data in it, you are sending it. There is some data you are receiving it. So that falls into the storage category. I use VLOOKUP, I use if function, I use sum if function, I use HLOOKUP, I use text function, I use date function. This all falls into your calculation. Okay, I use pivot tables to create the data, summarize the data, analyze the data, I create tables, I use some charts, I use some maps, I use something else. This falls into analysis. So these are three things we are going to see throughout our, practically we are going to see throughout our course. Okay, now say the first thing, we said that we can store data in Excel, right? So different types of data can be stored in Excel. Fine. How much data can be stored in Excel? How big is our Excel? Let's see this one. Are you guys aware how many rows are there in your Excel? Which version of Excel are you using and how many rows are there?
Office 365.
Okay. Do you know how many rows are there? 10,000. Okay. Any idea? Okay. Others, online people, any idea?
No, I'm using 2013 version of Excel.
2013 version of. Do you know how many rows and how many columns are there in Excel? Your version?
I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah. Fine. We will come to that. I'll tell you how many rows have there, how many columns are there. I'll tell you. So before that one more thing. So we said that, right? Mm, we do analysis, we do summarize the data, we store the data, okay, we receive the data, and we make charts, we do analysis, we do calculation. So we are doing all these things. That's absolutely fine. So why are we doing that only Excel? The storing data can be done with other applications also. The calculations and all can be done in other Excel, other applications. Storing data can be done in other applications. Analyzing and summarizing can also be done in other applications. Yes. Okay. So when all the things which you are doing in Excel can be done with other application, then why are we using Excel?
Excel, every cell content formula.
Okay.
So it gives a calculation easy for us. So we'll use Excel. Otherwise, we'll use also Access, but there we have to create tables and other things. So it's kind of difficult, but it's a every cell content formula here.
Yeah.
So,
To summarize what you says it is user friendly. Excel is user friendly, and you are using, right?
Right.
Any other reason why we are using Excel other than being user friendly?
Yeah.
Why only Excel? Why not any other application? All these things which you are doing in Excel can be done in other applications also. Then why are we not using other application?
No, but for analysis, Excel is a good perfect application for analysis. Like we can explain the data through charts and diagrammatically through.
Right. So I would say that all these things can be done with other applications also. Why only Excel? Any other student wants to answer? Yeah, go ahead.
It is free.
Okay. So Excel is not actually free, if you ask me.
Yeah, but yeah, it will come with a package, but yeah,
Yeah.
for other applications, will pay more when compared to this.
Yeah, agree. Okay, that is also one reason. What else? What else do you think as a reason? Okay, we are habituated. Okay, any other reasons? Okay. Okay, let me tell you one strong reason. Okay, why all of us are using Excel. Now see, keep this Excel thing aside, answer this question. We all have smartphones, right? We all are using some messaging apps. Somebody, WhatsApp, Telegram, WeChat, Skype for messaging, and IMO. People use IMO, Facebook Messenger, Instagram. There are different platforms where we can message others, right? How many of you are using Skype for messaging others?
Skype is usually used for interview purpose or
Yeah, correct.
video
I
call.
am asking. Yeah, so you are not using for messaging, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How many of you are using WeChat for messaging? How many of you are using Facebook Messenger for messaging others? Okay, one student. How many of you are using WhatsApp for messaging others?
Everyone will use WhatsApp.
Everyone is using WhatsApp.
Yes.
See, when messages can be sent with WeChat, Facebook Messenger, Skype, IMO, Telegram, why everyone is not using this? Why everyone is using only WhatsApp?
Because the company creates its image in the mind of every person.
Okay.
So
I think it is
it's a-
particularly dedicated for that, for easy communication.
Okay. Now
That
see, look
app
at
is designed to
brand image also. It's
okay. Okay. Let's put it in this way. I'll tell you something. Tell me, is that one of the reasons or not? If I so you all have WhatsApp, right? If I download Telegram and you don't have Telegram, you have WhatsApp. But I like Telegram, I'll download. Will I be able to message you guys? No.
no.
You all have WhatsApp. If I download Facebook Messenger, can I message you? You all have WhatsApp. If I download IMO, can I message you? No, right? So what should I download in my new phone to communicate with you? Even I have to use WhatsApp, right? Everyone, it is expected that few has Telegram, few has Skype, few have ISO. But what is that which everyone has now? WhatsApp. So in order to communicate with everyone, whether I like it, I don't like it, I have to use WhatsApp. So that is one of the main reason we all download WhatsApp immediately. Correct? That is one reason. So let's apply this to Excel. Why we are all using Excel? Why we are not using any other application? See, you have to create a very good dashboard for advertising purpose. You have to send it to every one of your clients, old clients, ex clients, upcoming clients. You have to advertise in the market. Using your business up and down, your business story and all putting together, you have created one good presentation, and you have created that in an application called Tableau. Tableau application. That is also a popular application nowadays, business intelligence application. You sent it to everyone, but they don't have WhatsApp. They don't have Tableau. Can they open that? Can they see your presentation?
No.
But same thing you created in Excel. You send it to same clients. Can they open it? Yes. Because it is usual and it is expected that everyone has Microsoft in their computers, correct? So everyone is using Microsoft. Okay, every client, every company, every person, every student, okay, every college, every company, every person individually using Microsoft. So we are expected that everyone has it. So that is why we also create something in Excel or PPT in a Word, Microsoft related product, and we send it out so that everyone can see it. If the same thing, if you create in a tab view, click view, or Power BI using something else, they may or may not have it. But Excel, PPT, Word, Outlook kind of thing, everyone has it. So since everybody is using Excel, even we have to use Excel. That is one of the main reason why we all use Excel. So what you said is right. Excel is user friendly, 100% agree. Excel is cheaper compared to everyone, 100% agree. Agree with everything what you said. Along with that, one of the main reason why Microsoft products are leading in the market is everyone has it. Same thing, why WhatsApp Messenger is leading in the market? Because everyone already has it. To be in line with them, we are also using Excel. Okay. Now, coming back to our storing data and all. So when it comes to Excel, okay, how big is our Excel? Let's see that one. Excel has 10 lakhs plus rows. Okay. Excel has Excel 2000 at present in the market. 2019 is latest version of Excel. Okay, Excel has different version. 2019 is latest version of Excel. In 2009, 2010, then 2013, then 2016, then 2019. Okay, before 2010 also there were different versions, but before 2000 there used to be 10,000 plus rows. Now how many rows are there? 10 lakh 48,000 plus rows, 10 lakh 48,576 rows. Okay, 2010, 13, 16, and 19. From 2010 to present Excel, there are 10 lakhs 48,576 rows. and 16,384 columns. 16,384 columns. If I go to right side and see, that would be XFD. You see A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. These are column labels. These 1, 2, 3 are row labels. I have 10,48,576 rows, and XFD. XFD is the last column. If I come down, XFD 10,48,576 is the last row. So those many columns and those many rows are there in single Excel sheet. Okay, Excel as a workbook has different sheets. In each sheet, you have 16,384 multiplied with 10,48,576 rows. So these many cells you have in a single sheet. In these many cells, you can store data in a single sheet. Like this, you can open n number of sheets. Okay, and you can open n number of workbooks. There is no limitation on how many workbooks you can open, how many worksheets you can open within each workbook. There is no limitation. Only limitation is your system memory. If it is full, you cannot open. If memory is not full, you can open. So there is no limitation on how many workbooks and how many sheets can be opened, how much data can be stored. Okay, so what all we can store in it? We can store data, we can store formulas, we can store charts, we can store objects, we can store images, we can store tables, pivot tables, we can also store macros. Okay, what is macros and all we will see going forward. Okay, so now these are something which we can store. Now let's get into one interesting topic. Okay, now see look at this one. Can you all see what is visible on screen to you now? Now we'll get into a topic practically and see what we can do in Excel. I'm going to tell you a different and a special concept which is going to be very helpful for you. Okay. Now, before we get into that one, tell me one thing. Your manager has given this data to you, your project manager. Okay. And he asked you to come up with your analysis. What is your analysis on this data? If this is given to you, what will be your analysis on this data? What I mean to say is, he gave you this number, he's asking what data it is. Is it finance data? Is it HR data? Is it payroll data? Is it sports related data? Or is it health related data? Or is it COVID cases related data? Or individual cricket scores? Or what it is? If this is given to you, if you have to do analysis, what it is? Online? Any answers from you online? Sampath, Ibrahim, Pranati, Tejasvi. Hello? How many people can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Yeah.
First, we analyze the data.
Yeah. So tell me, what's your analysis on this? So what do you think what it is? So what do you think this data belongs to?
It might be sales related data, or it's look like sales data.
Okay, fine. It's related to sales data. One answer is it's related to sales data. How about others? Others, any answer? What it is? Sampath or Tejasvi, you want to try? What data it is? Okay. How about you? Okay, we can't say anything. It is just data. Okay. Why you can't say anything?
Ma'am, it is just raw data.
Yeah, raw data belongs to what? What do you think?
Belongs to probably sales of the company.
Okay. Fine. Somebody says sales, somebody says we can't say. Okay, somebody says it's related to salary. See, we have only one data, but we all are getting different answers for it, right? Right? What is the reason why everyone is giving some different answers for it? What is the reason?
Because it's not in a particular report, so it's just a raw data, and we have to make it in a report from raw data.
Okay, fine. We are not able to name this what data it is. So is it a perfect table?
No, it's not a perfect table.
So I'll go here and now I will show you this data. Now tell me, look at this one and tell me what data it is.
It's an employee related data.
Okay, two students are saying salary. How about others?
HR related data.
HR related data, salary related data. How about others? HR. Okay. Now everyone is giving same answer. Earlier we got different answer. Now everybody is giving the same answer. What is the reason? What do you think? What is the reason we are getting only one answer now?
Based on the column names, we are able to decide like which data it is.
Exactly. Based on the headers, the column names, we are
Right
able
on.
to decide what data it is. It clearly says employee name. That means it's related to employees. We have employee designation. We have employee salary, HR and deduction. It is clearly employee salary related data, or you can say employee HR related data. Okay. So everyone has given the same answer because we have headers. Okay. Now tell me, is it a table? Yes. How about others?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Fine. So everyone is now saying, yes, this is a table. Okay. We are saying it is a table because it is properly formatted. You have headers. You have relevant data related to the headers also. So, okay, if there is designation, exactly, you have designations below to it. If it is name written, you have name below it. That is the reason everyone is saying that it is a table in Excel. But when it comes to Excel, this is not a table. This is just a normal range. It's a normal data, but this is not a table. What is table? Where we can use Excel? Where we can use this table? How we can use in real time? What are the interview questions which we are going to see related to table? That is what we are going to see as a first topic. Okay. Now, see, I have this data. Okay, in this data, what I have: basic salary, HR, and deduction. I have three things. So out of, okay, fine. Now what I want to do is, using this, I want to calculate the net salary. Let me calculate that one. NETSALARY, net salary. How we can calculate net salary? The formula for that is equal to basic salary plus HRA. Look at this, basic salary plus HRA minus deductions. Okay, 50,000 plus 10,000 minus 5,000, 55,000. Getting it? So this is the net salary of that one person. Now we just started. Okay. Give me 1 second. I think a student is calling. Yeah, look at this one. We calculated a salary for one person, 55,000. Now I want to calculate this one for everyone, all the employees. So what we do, there are multiple ways. We can come here and double click on this one. It will drop down. Okay. But there are n number of ways. So, or you can hold this, or you can drag like this. That is another way. Another way is you can simply come here, you select till where you want, and you can say Control D. That will get individual net salaries. Now I want to calculate a total net salary. How can I calculate? Just
Alt equal.
Alt equal to auto sum and just hit it. This is a total net salaries which we are paying to the employees. So now this calculation we have done it on a normal range. Okay, now let's do the same operations on this particular range, but we will not do it on a range. We'll do on this data, but we will not do it on a range. Before we do that one, let's convert this to a table. This one, we said that this is not a table. I'm saying this one is a table. How this is a table? What we can do? Let's see this. First, how can we convert this to a table? First, select your data. Okay. After selecting, so there are some ribbons, right? Okay. File ribbon, home ribbon, insert ribbon, page layout ribbon. Okay. You can see a number of ribbons here. Data, review, view, developer, help. This one, be in the home ribbon. In the home ribbon, you have some options. In this one, there is an option called format as table. Click on the format as table. You have light colors, medium colors, and if you scroll down, You have dark colors. You can pick up any one of color. Maybe I'll pick up this color. Okay, just click on that one. That's it. It will ask you where is the data for your table. Since we have already selected this data, can you see it is showing that selection? So you don't need to change anything here because you already selected. Okay, my table has headers is checked. Our table has headers, so we are checking this header. Okay, if there are no headers, then we can remove it. But our table has headers, so I'm not doing anything. See, it's clearly saying create a table. Are you creating a table? Yes. Where is the data for your table? This is the data. My table has headers, and just say okay to it. The first change when you change your normal range to table, the first change you see is it will show the same colors which you have picked up. We have select medium and sky blue color, right? So it has applied that colors, and you will see the filters applied on it. Now, here, this is fine. Now see, I am saying this one is a normal range. I am saying this one is a table. How can you differentiate that one? Is it with only colors? No. Say for example, I will take this, I'll click on format, I will go here and I'll keep this to headers. Okay, I will select these two. Okay, format as table and I'll keep it to this. Okay, I'll just remove this. Now both are looking same. Now can you differentiate which one is table, which one is not a table?
No, we can't differentiate.
You're not able to identify. But how to identify which one is table and which one is not table? I am on this one, first one. I will say that this is a range. How do I say it is a range? Look at this one, data, review, view, developer, help. I have ribbons up to help only. But the moment I click on this, which I converted to table, can you see after help, there is a ribbon showing table design. Looking at this, you can say that this is table. When I come out of it, look at this. I'm out of the table. I don't have that ribbon. I am in this. I don't have it. I selected this entire table. I don't have anything because this is a normal range. But when I am here, whether I select the entire table or I select part of a table or I select a single cell of the table, it will show table design. This means that you have converted this to table. Now, let's do the same thing which we have done here, the calculation of net salary. I'll come here and I will type NETSALARY. I have typed net salary and I am hitting enter. The moment I hit enter, look at this what happens. Just observe the moment I hit enter. Can you see what happened there? The newly entered column has also got converted to table. You don't need to convert this to table another time because you entered another column. You don't need to reconvert this to table. Just enter it, automatically that column will also get converted to a table, the same table. So when it happens, without giving a gap of row or column, if you enter something, that will get converted to table. Look at this one. Now I have 100 employees, for example, new person joins, CHANDRAKANTH. This is my name. I'm Chandrakant. I'm writing my name. I joined this company and I'm hitting enter. Can you see it got converted to table? There is another person, Ravi, have given two rows gap and hit enter. Is it getting converted to table? No, that will not get converted. Without giving a gap of row, without giving a gap of column, if you enter something, that will get converted to table. That's a first and very helpful advantage of formatting it as a table. You can remember that one. Okay, now see, same with columns. I will write take home salary and I enter. Will it get converted to table? No, because you are not writing in an immediate column. That's why it is not getting converted to table. Now let's do the same calculation. Calculation of net salary. Basic salary plus HRA minus deduction. And I hit enter. Can you see the difference? That one and this one. There, after writing the first formula, we had to drag the formula down. But here you have written one formula. The moment you hit enter, as long as your table existing, okay, you have your formulas copied down. Clear? So this is another advantage of formatting it as a table. Okay, now that is one thing. Now look at this one. Here we calculated totals of it. Let's do that. Here to calculate the totals, we need to know the sum function. Here, how do I calculate the totals of this particular column? Let's see that one. Now I am here. Okay, I will calculate that one. Before calculating, so now I'll go a little down here and I go a little left. Go little right. Can you tell me what was this column? What was this data? Is it HRA, basic salary, or take home? What was this? What column was it? What about this? So here it is saying D14, E14, H14. What was E14? What was D14? What was F14? Do you remember? No. You don't remember. So then what you have to do, you have to go up and see, oh, this is basic salary, this is HRA, this is deduction, this is net salary. That is what you have to do. But here, let's see. Now, can you see after E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, R, there are column labels. But here when you are in table, if you go down, if you are dealing with huge data, and if you go down, can you see after H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O has got converted to your table headers. You don't need to go up and see what data it is. Wherever you are, you can see deduction, HRA, basic salary, net salary. That is another advantage. Here, if you are here, if it says E26, you don't know what E26, you have to go up and see what E26 is, what F is, what D is. So, but here you don't need to go up. It clearly says that basic salary plus HRA minus deduction. Instead of D20, E20, F20, it shows basic salary, HRA, deduction. It clearly says what this calculation is. This is called structural reference, also called automatic nomenclature. Okay, which shows instead of cell references, it shows your table headers as a reference for easy understanding. Clear? That is one thing. Now, coming back, I want to calculate what is the total net salary which I am paying. Instead of writing a formula here, I'll be here. I'll click on this table design. In the table design, can you see there is something called total row? This is unchecked box. Now I'm just checking that box. The moment I check the box, can you see what happened to it? The total is automatically calculated right side. How it get calculated? How the totals applied? Totals are applied on rightmost column of the table, not on all the columns. Rightmost column of the table by default. Okay, getting the same thing. Now I don't even know the formula, but just by clicking, I got it. That is fine. Now here I have so many designations. So total, how many designations are there? I'll go here. I'll click on this one. I have total 78 designations. Okay. Now, how can I get it dynamically with a formula? It is 78. I don't know the formula. We haven't discussed any formula. I haven't learned anything. But I click on this drop down. Okay. In this one, there is something called count. I'll click on count. Can you see it is showing 78? Yes. I don't even know how to write formula. Still using help of this table, I'm executing formula. Now it is dynamic. The moment I delete it, can you see it became 17? Yes. I deleted. It became 76. I delete another. It became 75. I'll add one. 76. I'll add another one. 77. I'll add another one. 78. That's how it is dynamic. Now, these are the different basic salaries which I am paying. I want to know what is the highest basic salary I am paying to anyone. Highest basic salary. So I will go here. I'll click on this one. And then I will select max. I don't know what formula at this moment to get it. But however, there's something called max. I'm clicking on that one. The moment I click on this max formula, 25,000 is the highest which we are paying. Okay, 2,50,000. Okay, highest basic salary which we are paying. I want to know what is the minimum HRA we are paying. I'll click on this one and I'll select min. 532 is the minimum. Okay, it is so dynamic that I'll make it 100. Can you see the minimum became 100? That's what it is. Now we are deducting something from everyone. So what is the average deductions which we are making? I want to know. For that, you need to know average function, but you don't know how to write it. But still, I'll click on this one and I'll click on average. Without knowing these 4 formulas, able to execute them. Yes. Okay, this is another advantage of formatting it as a table. Done. Now, there are a few other things as well. Now look at this one. What else we have? I'll go here. I'll go to table design. Now I want to do one analysis. I'll go here. I'll go to table design and I'll put some filters. Done. I want to see total how many. I want to do some analysis. I want to see how many managers are there. I'll click on this. Okay. Uncheck everyone. Click on managers. Say okay. So there are 11 managers. This is the highest which we are paying to the manager. This is the lowest for managers. This is the average deduction for the manager. This is the net salaries only for managers. Able to analyze your data using table function, using filters. I'll go here. I'll click on how many developers are there. 7 developers. This is the details. I want to see how many PJMs, project managers are there. I'll click on this one and I'll say getting filter. Now I want to see how many analysts are there. Uncheck everything, click on analyst, say okay. 10 analysts. Changing. So now what are you doing in order to analyze? Every time we are going inside the filter, you are unchecking one and you are checking another one. You are saying okay, then you are seeing the result, right? I will simplify this analysis. How do I do it? I'll apply an advanced filter concept called slicer. What is that? Go into table design, click on insert slicer. The moment you click on insert slicer, it basically shows the headers of your table. Employee name, designation, basic salary. Employee name, designation, basic salary. HRA deduction, net sales. HRA deduction and net sales. So where were you filtering? On which column did we filter for manager, tester, PJM, analyst?
Designation.
Designation. So here also you click on the designation and say okay. The moment you do that, what happens? A slicer gets created. What is this slicer? What is this slicer? So this shows the unique values under the designation column. Now you wanted to see managers, right? You click on manager. Can you see it filtered out? Click on developer. Filter to developer. Click on analyst. Filter to analyst. Click on PJM. Filter to PJM. Getting it? Uncheck. Uncheck this filter. Now unchecked everything. I want analyst and associate. I want developers and leads both. I'll click on developers first. I'll hold control and I click on lead. Can you see developers and lead both?
Yes.
Able to analyze your data?
Yes.
Okay. This is another advantage of formatting your data to table. And you can increase the size of it, or you can increase the columns of it, or you can increase the width of it. You can do anything in this one. I'll go to right and okay, let me do like this. I'll keep this one here. Not only one, you can insert multiple slicer. I'll be here. I'll click on table design. I'll insert slicer. I want a slicer by employee names. I'll say okay to it. Look at this. A huge slicer will be here. Done. Now there are so many, right? There's so many in this one. There's so many names. So what I do, I'll increase the number of columns inside the slicer. Now be on the slicer design will open. When you are on table, the table design will open, right? When you are on slicer, the slicer ribbon gets enabled. In this one, you have columns. Column 1, instead of column 1, I'll make column 4. Can you now see it has 1, 2, 3, 4 columns? Yeah. And now what you need to do, because you increase the number of columns, just increase the width of it. Done. Or if you want, you can make it be here, go to slicer. If you want, you can make 6. Done. Now you click on Gaurav Saurav. Can you see? Filter to his name. Okay. Now you click on Balakrishna. Balaji, Rajakrishna. Okay. Girish Kumar. Getting filtered?
Yes.
Aditya Kumar. At the same time, this filter is also getting filtered to his designation. Okay, I'll click on Kamal. Kamal is DB. Can you see here it is DB?
Yes.
Automatically, both will work. If you don't want to filter anyone, you can just come here and you can uncheck this one. Now you will see enter table. Okay, this is another advantage of formatting your data into normal data into a table range. Okay, now look at this one. We have seen a different advantage of table, but the main advantage of table comes with when you enter the data without giving a gap of row, without giving a gap of column, it gets converted to table automatically, right? The main advantage comes from there. Okay, I will show you with a practical example. Let's take data till Manish. Okay. Now, look at this. I have some data. I want to create, okay, below this name, I'll just highlight it. So that you can see it properly, just highlight it normally. Now, in this yellow color box, I want to see a names drop down. Now, what is drop down? When I come here, when I click on it, can you see? When I click on it, it is showing some different values, right? Even in online forms also, when you fill that, when you select a country, beside that one in the state column, it shows all the states in a list. From there you select one, right? So that kind of drop down list I want to create. So using this name should show as a drop down inside this one. That is what I want to create. Okay. So how can we create a drop down? First to see that one, then what is the tables contribution inside this drop down, that also we will see. Now see, Alt DL is a shortcut for data validation. Alt DL. Otherwise, go to the data ribbon. In the data ribbon, there is something called data validation. In this particular section, there's something called data validation. Click on data validation. In this allow, you can select list. In the list of source, okay, do it. Now can you see name starting from Matam to Manish? Can you see them as a drop down? Yes. This is how you create a drop down. Okay, drop down list. Next drop down list you created. Now in this one, tell me, a new person joins the company. Okay, his name is Chandra. Hit enter. Is it showing in the drop down list? No. Why it is not showing? R3DL. I'll go here and I check this. You have selected till Manish only earlier. Okay. That is why whatever you enter here, it is not showing here. Then what you need to do, you have selected till 95. The Chandra is in 96, so you have to make it 96 and say okay. Now if you come back and check, it will appear. Okay. Now I'll say RAM raw. I'll go back here and I'll click on it and I'll say, is it showing? Not showing. Why it is not showing? Again, the same thing, you selected till 96. You need to change it to 97 and say, okay. Every time Every time a new person joins, you have to change. Okay, it is tough for us to change every time, right? If you forget to change it, we'll lose one of details or data of one person. Okay, so I want to make it dynamic. What do I mean by dynamic? If somebody enters data here, that should automatically reflect in the drop down list. That is what I want to create. How can I create? I'll take this and I'll paste it here. Okay, I want to create a drop down list just beside this one. Okay, here I want to create it. Done. Let's see. So how do we create a drop down list? Using data validation function list, we are creating it. But I want a dynamic one, right? So how can I create a dynamic drop down list? Very simple. Before you create a drop down list, convert your normal range to table first. How to convert it to table? Go to home, go to format as table, select anything from here. Up to you. I will select this one. Done. And just say okay to it. I'll click on this one. Can you see it is showing table? That means it is converted to table. Color is your wish. Any color you can take. It just need to be in the table format. Now I will go here. Alt DL is the shortcut. Otherwise, you can go to data ribbon and then you select list. Within this list, you select source. Select from here to here. And say okay to it. Now you see starting from Matam to Manish you have. Okay. Now new person joins. His name is Raj. Okay. And I entered it. What is the tables feature? Without giving a gap of row, if you enter something, that gets converted to a table. Right? So now because of that, when I come here, can you say Raju automatically came into this? This is how you can make this in dynamic. Now the same thing, Ram. I'll go here. Can you see Ram automatically?
Yes.
This is how you can make this dynamic by converting your data to table. How it is happening? You have referred a table inside the data validation list. And whatever you enter, that is getting automatically converted to a table. So that's how you are making it dynamic. Is it clear with everyone? Online, offline?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
This is, I'll show you another thing. Now look at this one. Country, India. India, USA, Canada, China, and Germany. Okay, I have 3 countries. Country wise, I have sales. Okay, just think it is in millions, 1,000 million, 250 million, 500 million, 670 million, 540 million. These are my sales in different countries. Now I want to show this data in a chart. Okay, I want to show this data in a chart or something. Fine. So let's show this data in a chart. So how do we apply a chart on a data? Select your data, go to insert. In the insert, there are n number of charts. So if I ask which chart is suitable, then I have to think which chart is suitable. Is it a bar chart? Is it a column chart? Is it a pie chart? Okay, is it a scatter plot? Is it a donut chart? Is it a pie chart? Instead of thinking, what we can do is there is something called recommended charts. Click on this one, it will recommend you. It recommends you the best suitable chart for this particular data. It's a little slow. It basically takes only 1 second, but since my Excel has huge data, it's taking some time. Just say okay to it. Done. Okay. India, USA, Canada, China, Germany. Sales. You're able to see those sales. Fine. Now, here it is showing above 600, but I don't know whether it is 601, 650 or 670. Unless I scroll on to that one, I don't know, right? So what we can do is right click on this. Okay. Come to add data labels, click on that one. Added data labels. That's how you add data labels. So it will show the exact number. If it is 776 also, 676 also, it will clearly show it is 676. This is shares sales. Okay, this is called chart title. You can change this one as well. Instead of sales, you can write it as country-wise sales. Okay, sales by country, sales by geo, or country-wise sales that you can change. Now, this is absolutely fine. This is working fine. This is absolutely fine. Now, what I want to do is, now here, I got a customer in another country via online. Something from Sri Lanka, and the sales is 670. Is that showing on chart? No. Not showing. So whenever the data gets added, what people do, they right click on the chart. Okay. Can you see why it is not showing in the chart? Because the range which we have selected earlier is only till the Germany 91. Now we need to change it to 92. Then that will reflect. Sri Lanka came here. Now I have sales in some other country, UK. UK, I have sales of 500. Is it showing on chart? Again, same problem. It won't show. Every time it is getting added, you have to change it. Okay. Just to see now it is countries. Okay. You have sales once in a while in different country, you will change it. That is okay. What if it is, if you are in a supermarket, you have products, product wise, you have to see in a chart. It will be tough for you to change every time, right? Because you have sales every minute you have new sales. That sales has to reflect. It will be tough for you to do it. So I want to make this chart dynamic. What do I mean by dynamic? If the data gets added in this particular place, that should automatically show in my chart. So I'll go here, I'll put it here. On this, I want to insert a chart. I'll go to insert and I'll go to recommended charts. I will see what is the best recommended chart for this one. Mostly it shows a bar chart or a pie chart or a horizontal bar chart. I'll select this one and I'll say okay. Done. My sales have come here. Right click, add data labels. Done. Now, so this is a normal thing. But what I do, I'll just delete it. Instead of, before I apply the same action, I delete it. I want to make this dynamic, right? I'll select this and I convert this to table. How do we convert it to table? Home ribbon, format as table, select one of the table colors, just say okay to it. Done. On this one, on this table, you insert. On this table, go to recommended chart, select the chart, just say okay to it. Right click, add data labels. Done. New country. Again chart dynamic. Yes. See the change? This is how we can make our charts dynamic. This is very, very useful in dashboards. The moment you update data, chart should automatically update. That's how you can make chart. This can be an interview question. How do you make a chart dynamic? By converting my chart data to table, I can make my chart dynamic. Any country without giving a gap of row. Okay. UK, I have 780. See the change? Yes. This is how you can make your chart dynamic. Clear?
Yeah.
Any questions related to table?
How to identify the different colors, different person, how to give the different colors to the different persons. Like India, I have to select red and USA green.
Yes. So for that one, we will see going forward. There's a complete class for pivot tables and charts. There we will see how to format. There are multiple ways to do it. You can right click on it. Okay, you will see options, styles, select data, add trend lines, format data labels, format data series. And there are n number of options. Okay, you select this one and say control 1. Also, you will get into a lot of options available. Can you see? The moment I say control 1, format chart area, filling related, as you said, colors related. Okay, you can work on this color related. If you want to change the borders, the border colors, okay, it's here. In depth, we will see later. So here, basically, we are not seeing chart. We are seeing effect of the formatting of table. So that's why I'm not going into the depth of charts. So when the chart topic comes, I'll tell you in depth. Clear? Any question online?
No.
No question. Okay. So this is about format as table. Now, another interesting topic. Let's get into another interesting topic. Is called conditional formatting. Give me 1 second. Now, I will show you this. Okay, this area, the selected area. Tell me how many 9s are there? 9. Only 9, not 19, not 29, not 99. Tell me how many 9s are there?
We have to count first, then we can say.
Yeah, tell me.
We have to count every row and every column. We have to count where is 9 or not. Then we can say exact number of 9.
Yeah, do it and tell me. 7 or 9? Seven, 9,
7 is there.
7.
Yes, 7.
Okay, fine. Same thing. I'll go here. Give me 1 second. Excel is a little slow. I'll go here. Now tell me how many 9s are there?
9.
Others? Tell me fast. 9?
9,
Okay.
10 is that.
Okay, somebody says 10. Why 10? Now, this one, when I asked you, somebody said 9, somebody says 7. How much time it took for you to count this table?
8 minutes.
1 minute. This one, everybody is saying 9. Okay, how much time it took for you to count in this one? Few seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, so there we got different answers. Here we are getting only one answer. Okay, that too accurate answer. That is the power of data visualization. That is the power of formatting. The required data got highlighted. So our focus is on only highlighted. Correct. So earlier you had to go through each and every cell and check whether it has 9 or not. If it is 9, you had to count 1, not 9, not 9, not 9, another 9, 2. No, 9, 3. So you had to count the entire table. But here you focused only on the highlighted because the 9s are highlighted. Right? So you are not looking at anything else. So that is the power of highlighting. That is the power of formatting. That is the power of data visualization. It improves accuracy. It improves our focus. It saves our time. Done. So from 1 minute to 10 seconds. That is the time saving which we have got using formatting. Okay. What is formatting and what is conditional formatting? Formatting is nothing but if I write EXCEL Excel 2019, okay, applying background color, applying font color, applying font size, applying font style, okay, font style, making it bold, making it italic, making it underline, applying some borders to the cell, okay, and alignments, okay, these falls into formatting. These are called formatting. What is conditional formatting? Conditional formatting applies formats to the cell or cells data when a particular condition is met. If a condition is met, then it's highlighted. Otherwise, it won't highlight. That is called conditional formatting. If this cell has Excel, make it green. Otherwise, don't make it. So it is checking the condition whether it is Excel or not. That is called conditional formatting. You have numbers 100 to 1000, different numbers in cells. Highlight which is above 500. So it is checking a condition whether the number is above 500 or not. If it is above 500, it is highlighting. Otherwise, it is not highlighting. That is conditional formatting. So what falls into formatting? Again, the same colors, italic, bold, underline. So these fall into formatting. Let's see something practically. Now see, okay, let's see this one. I have some marks. Okay, here I want to highlight all the pass marks. I want to make it green. Passing marks are 36. 36 above I want to make green. How do you make it green? You'll go here. Okay, otherwise we'll make that entire cell green. You'll go here and you'll make it green. Just go here and you make it maybe this green. Okay, this is pass, this is pass, 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 pass. Then this is also pass. You'll go here, you'll apply the green pass. So in this one, you also want to highlight fail into red color. You'll go here, you select them, you go here, and you'll make it red color. Okay, this is how you format pass and fail, green and red. Same thing I want to do with conditional formatting here. What I'll do, I'll select these cells. Conditional formatting, which is in the home ribbon, highlight cells which are greater than 36. Okay, greater than 35, into green fill and say okay. All the pass marks highlighted. I'll select the same one again. Conditional formatting, highlight cells lesser than 36 to be highlighted in red color. All the fail marks are also highlighted. So when this can be done with these colors, why do we need to apply conditional formatting? You may ask me that. Now look at this one. On this data, I formatted everything fine. Later, I realized that this is not 73, it is just 33. By mistake, I have written 73. Now I am changing into 33. Is it turning it to red color? No. This is not one This is actually 91. By mistake, I have written 1. I'll change it to 91. Is it turning into green color? No. But look at here. This is not 4. This is 64. The moment I change it, can you see automatically turn to green?
Yes.
This is not 15. This is not 9. This is just 95. Automatically turn to green. This is not 64. This is just 4. The moment I write 4, can you see that turn to red color?
Yes.
This is conditional formatting. This one is a normal formatting. The conditional formatting, it checks that cell's value. It checks that cell's value against the condition which you have written. Greater than 35 green, lesser than 35 red color. You have written that condition. According to that condition, it is coloring. This is conditional formatting. Understood what conditional formatting is?
Yes.
Any questions? No questions. See, more things in conditional formatting. Now here, pass marks, fail marks are okay. Average score, I want to highlight in yellow color. Average scores are between 36 to 60. So conditional formatting, okay, highlight cells between 36 to 60. Which color you want to highlight? I want to highlight in yellow color. If you don't want this color, you can go to the custom formats. Okay. In the fill, go to fill. I want this yellow. Say okay. Now if I make it 47, yellow. If I make it 59, if I make it 55. Can you see? Average marks are getting highlighted in yellow color. That's how you can highlight them. Now somebody has got 100. Okay, I want to highlight cells if somebody has got 100. Okay, how can I highlight it? Select it, conditional formatting, highlight cells equal to, okay, 100. Okay, equal to 100. I want to highlight. Which one I want to highlight? Custom format. Okay, I want it to be highlighted in this blue. And I'll say okay to it. Can you see wherever there is 100 is getting highlighted? Okay. We have seen lesser than, we have seen greater than, we have seen between, we have seen equal to. Okay, that's how you can highlight them. Now, if there are any duplicates, I want to highlight it.
So is there any possibility for a cell, we have to condition in average and as well as highest and lowest?
Yes.
We have to.
Yes. So look at this one is one example. Okay, we have applied two conditions here, which is below and below 36, above 36. So you can apply another condition. Below 36 red color, 36 to 60 yellow color, 61 to 100 green color. You can apply 3 colors as well. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 conditions also you can apply. 1 to 10 one color, 10 to 20 another color, 20 to 30 another color, 30 to 40 another color. That also you can apply. Okay, now here I want to highlight duplicates if there are any. If there are any duplicates, I want to highlight them. How do we highlight? We go here, we go to conditional formatting, highlight cells. Now duplicate values. Okay, just say okay. Can you see duplicates values are getting highlighted? Whether it is 2 times or 3 times, doesn't matter. Look at this 29, 29, 29, 3 times highlighted. Excel, duplicated and highlighted. And done. Now here, unique values on the same thing. Unique values I want in green color. How can I apply unique values? Highlights. I have duplicate values, but I don't have unique values in the list. Correct? Still click on the duplicate values. Here is the drop down. Click on unique values and you select green fill and just say okay to it. Done. That's how you can highlight unique values. Getting it? Now, within this one, in the highlight cells, not text that contains, let's say text text related. Let's see. I have text here. In this one, see, every time we were selecting only one column, right? No need of one column, you can select multiple columns as well and apply at a time. Conditional formatting. Okay. I want to highlight cells which contain Excel, or I want to highlight cells which contain Excel. Okay, fine. Conditional formatting, highlight cells, text that contain. Here you need to write EXCEL, Excel. Which color you want? I want it to be custom. I want it to be this green. Okay. Can you see it is highlighting cells that contain Excel? Only Excel, starting with Excel, ending with Excel. Okay. If that cell contains Excel, it is highlighted. Okay. That's why you can highlight cells which contain Excel. Okay. In this one, I don't want to highlight the cells which contains Excel. If it has exactly Excel, only Excel I want to highlight, not contains Excel, not before or after, not like that. Only if it has Excel, I want to highlight. How can we highlight it? Conditional formatting, highlight cells. Instead of text that contains, I will take equal to. Okay, here I will write Excel, equal to Excel. I want it to be in yellow color. I'll just say okay to it. Only 2 cells has that. Okay, this Excel 2016, I change it to Excel. What it highlight? This 2016, I'll make it to Excel. Getting highlighted? Yes. This 2013 Excel, I'll just make it normal Excel. Then, clear online?
Yes, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Hello. I want to say if the letters are in uppercase letters, it can be accepted. Colored Excel.
It still works. It still works. Let's see. Instead of this axis, I will write EXCEL. Highlighted. This is not case sensitive.
Okay. Okay. Clear. Because sometimes we have to write exact words so that it can
Right.
be.
This is not case sensitive. See, whether you write proper case, lower case, or upper case, it will get highlighted. Any questions?
No.
No question? This is related to text. Okay, on the same thing, if it has word, I want it to be green color, blue color, on the same thing. Conditional formatting, highlight cells equal to word. I want it to be in some blue color or something. Done. Like that, multiple you can apply. Clear? This is about text. Now let's see something related to dates. Here in the dates, what I'll do, okay, let's see entire data set I'll select.
Yeah.
Go to conditional formatting, highlight cells rules, date occurring, select date occurring. Now I want to highlight the dates. Okay, here I want to highlight yesterday's date in green fill, not highlighted. Today's date. Can you see today's date is getting highlighted? Yes. 25/12. I want tomorrow's date, 26. What highlighted? Yes. I want it to be in the last 7 days. Dates falling in last 7 days. Getting highlighted? Yes. Okay, 20, 25, 20, 22, 19, 21. Last week. Getting highlighted? Yes. This week. Highlighted? Yes. Next week. Highlighting?
Yes.
Last month. Getting highlighted. November month, all the dates getting highlighted? Yes. Next month. January 2022. Getting highlighted? Yes. This month. It's getting highlighted and just say okay to it. It will get applied. Clear? Any questions? Okay, this is how you work with dates. Last month, this month. You have yesterday's test, today's test, tomorrow's test. Last week, this week, next week. last month, this month, next month, this year, next year. I mean, anything you want, you can upload. Clear?
Yes.
Now, look at this. Few more things. Now, in this one, I want to highlight top 3 scores in green color. Top 3. Conditional formatting, top bottom rules. Instead of top, click on top 10 item, but change it to top 3 and make it green color. 99, 94, 66. Highlighted. Say, I want bottom 3 marks in red color. Bottom 3 students. I'll go here. Bottom 10 items. Just change it to 3. Red color. 7, 10, 14. Bottom 3. Okay, that's how you highlight them. Okay. Here, look at this. Now see another interesting thing. Data bars in the conditional formatting. We have seen highlight cells top bottom. Now getting into data bars. What is data bars? Selected the data bars, conditional formatting, go to data bars. You have 2 sections in the data bars, gradient fill and solid fill. Let me take this gradient fill. I'll go with the green color. Gradient fill. I'll go here. I'll select it. Conditional formatting. Data bars. Same green. I'll take it from solid fill. Both does the same job. Functionality is same. Just the coloring is different. This is gradient fill. This is solid fill. But what does it do? It's doing some coloring. But what does it do? Among the selected cells, the cell containing highest value is completely filled.
Yes.
This is little less filled. This is less filled, less filled, less filled. Okay. The lowest value is completely less filled. The highest value is filled completely. Okay. The highest filled. Now, for look at this example. Instead of 9, if I make it 99. If I make it 99. Can you see this is completely getting filled?
Yes.
Then that's how it works. That is called data bars. Okay. Now, color scales. How color scales works? Selected color scales. Here I'll select green to red. Green, yellow, red combination. The cells which has highest values will be in green color. Lowest values will be in red color. Average values are in yellow color. Okay. Same thing I select. In this one, I'll go to conditional formatting. I'll go to color scales. I'll take vice versa. Earlier green, yellow, red. Now red, yellow, green. Highest values will be in red color now. Lowest values are in green color. Average values are in yellow color. Okay. Similar to that one, there is something called icon set. How icon set works? Icon sets. Go here. Go to icon set. Maybe I will take this. Select anything. Functionality is same. The shapes will be different. Highest in green color up arrow.
Yes.
Lowest in red color down arrow. Average in yellow color arrow. So you select anything. Go here. Icon sets. Maybe I will take this. Same thing. The shape different. Working fine. So where I use in real time is this data bar, this color scale. Look at this. I have this department. This department risk rating is 1. This is 4. This is 5. This is 2. This is 3. That is the risk rating. So this department, instead of ratings, I want to show in a bars. I want to show in a dashboard format. How do I show it? Conditional formatting, data bars. I'll select this red color. Done. Highest risk, complete red color. Lowest risk, little red. Okay. What I can do is I can select this conditional formatting. I'll go to manage rules. So I'm just managing the rules which are here. I'm clicking on edit rule. And here show bar only. I'm clicking on this and I'm saying okay to it. And I'll just okay to it. Numbers are gone, only bars are showing. Okay. So now we don't need to know whether it is risk is 550, 500. Doesn't matter. Look at the bar completely filled. That means highest risk. It is a little filled. That means low risk. Okay. So that's where you can use it. This is I use in real time in my office. Now the same risk thing. I'll go here. Conditional formatting, color scales. Okay. I'll use red, yellow, green. Highest risk showing in red color. Lowest risk means green color. Everything is same. Red color means something is going wrong. Yellow means something is going wrong, about to go wrong. We need some attention. That's how we can show it. But I want to remove this. Okay. But there is no option for show only colors, don't show numbers. But there is a hack for that one. I mean, there's another option for that one. I'll go to Control+1. I'll go to custom. Instead of this general, I'll make it semicolon, semicolon, semicolon 3 times. 3 times, and I'll just say okay to it. You will not see numbers. You will see only this. For example, I'll change it to 5. See the change? I'll change it to 1. See the change? I'll change this to 1. I'll change this to 3. Okay, I'll change this to 4. Getting it? That's how you can work with this conditional formatting. Any questions?
Sir, it is not applicable in previous one, like IT, which previously you have, yes, the edit values, it will be automatically decreased.
Applicable there as well. I'll show you.
What
It
is the difference between both tools?
different visualization. This you are showing in bars. This you are showing in color. This is kind of a progress bar.
Progress bars, yes.
This is kind of, so for example, if you are creating a everything is bar, 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 bar. So some change, just for some change. Then look at this one. This one I'll make it 5. This one I'll make it 1.
It tells the only the level of risk management. It
Correct.
gives the complete level as well as
Exactly. So I'll make this one as 5. And I'll make this one as 3. See the changes? Okay. Any questions? Online, any questions?
No, we don't.
We can. Okay. If no questions, shall we take a quick break till 12:30 and come back? Okay, take a break till 12:30 and come back. 11 minutes. We can resume the session. Next topics. There's so many topics like formulas. There's real-time usage topics. I'll tell you some formulas and tell you what flash fill is and where we can use in real time. Okay, if possible, pivot tables also we are going to see. Done. 11:30 we'll meet again. I'll be on mute till then.